Welcome to 𝐄𝐓𝐇𝐄𝐑𝐄𝐔. We're talking about investing, finance, and professional development. At the current time of 9 a.m. on the Eastern Time on Saturday, November 26th. Hope you guys have a good Black Friday, great Thanksgiving, and also a great weekend so far. Ethereum $100,219, up about 1.76% so far. On the over crypto market, as of this morning, on the East Coast, obviously, as you know, across the spectrum was relatively positive. I would say, mostly green across the spectrum. With respect to the key coins, still trending away at the, approximating the next level of resistance, which is 1250. As we know, we're basically $30 away from it. And you could see that with respect to the golden cross is about to be formed. And on the media front, just looking at across the spectrum, it seems like we are indicating some positive news, but some regurgitating historical negative news. Obviously, we did see a relatively crazy year. 7.4 trillion, not billion, trillion dollars has been wiped off in the industry. But with respect to the reversal of the market front, we are slowly seeing, a bunch of different signs, different, I guess, premonition, if you may, just based on the media front. Black Friday online sales seems to hit a new record number, expect to top $9 billion in the U.S. And also with respect to the Feds, we did hear from a couple of members from the Feds expecting that the 50 basis point for obviously with respect to the interest rates hikes in the upcoming CPI and the FOMC meeting, laying on the 13th and 14th of December, should indicate more of a normalization from the 75 basis point that we've done 4 times in the past. So it seems like a lot of news are expected to be positive, knowing the fact that the Black Friday online sales is one of those monumental drivers on the upcoming CPI report. So I do foresee some sort of positivity coming. And then on the other news, it seems like across the spectrum, um, again, like this is something that we have already talked about. Job numbers for November, like the Fed's talking about with respect to the interest rates. Basically, talk about how are we doing with the inflationary pressure. It seems like the lockdown in China is happening again with respect to the COVID battle that we're still experiencing. But across the spectrum is relatively just flattened, nothing real specific until we reach the beginning. I would say the second week of December when the main catalysts start to happen again. So before I dive into technical, I am you could see that I'm in my gym attire. So I am planning on spending half a day with Ron Artest Sr. As you know, he is Meta World Peace or Meta Center for Artest. He's changed his name so many times now. The famous Lakers champion. I'm gonna be spending a day with his dad, half a day with his dad, working out at his gym. And something that I want to help him is with his Ron Artest Foundation. And you can see that they are doing some sort of family holiday gathering. This is the QR code, and what they're gonna be doing is, give back, to the local communities, right? And the Artest Foundation is founded by his dad, Ron Artest Sr., obviously in collaboration with Meta World Peace or Ron Artest, like the Los Angeles Lakers champion. So what they're gonna be doing is they do these weekly Saturday, Sunday basketball camps, supporting the next generations of, kids, that are people of color, women basketball players, etc. And you could see that with respect to this is another thing. If you want to learn more about, the Artest Foundation, this is the high level picture. Feel free to, use the scan code, or just like reach out to me if you have any questions around supporting, meeting with the Artest family, if you may, and helping with the underserved children in America, and also with respect to mental health, which is obviously, you guys have seen, the historical, story from the Mouths of the Palace if you watch the Netflix series. on Meta World Peace, and obviously on Jermaine O'Neal and Steven Jackson, during the time when they were playing against the Pistons during the Malice of the Palace. The breakout of the fight was definitely cultivated around, like, Ron has a relatively rough childhood in the Queensbridge of New York, and now, like, one of the giving back, is to build a foundation to support children, to support them on, cultivating a next generation of basketball players, also like staying out of trouble, but also like with mental health, right? We do live in, I mean, New York City is definitely one of those very bipolar city, very hot, very cold. People are very edgy, very competitive. So something that I want to be supportive of what they're doing. So I'll be just working out with Ron, to see how he's doing. And then I'm gonna be in Miami next week. I'm gonna go to Art Basel next week for a lot of like arts events and stuff like that. So I'm flying out on Tuesday. So if you guys are in Miami, let me know. But also I'll be I'll be actually going to the Nets game. I think the Nets is playing against the Magic. One of my friends, she's a Chinese celebrity, like on TikTok or one of those Weibo or something like that. Those type of app. So she got a box, so I'm very excited to catch up with her. It's been a while, but also like to watch the game. I've never been to the Barclays Center, so without wasting more time, let's just dive into technical. Respective recording time of 9:06 a.m. on the Eastern time. We are at 12:18, up 1.6%. You can see that we're forming a golden cross right now. We at the 45 of 70. We are technically not at a level right now. We are just like levitating just around that 1250. So I think the likelihood of actually keep shooting up from here is very possible. We are looking to kind of glide up right now, but we do have this quadruple head, so that's something you have to be aware of. Monthly it looks quite bullish, so I actually, find the current level to be not a terrible level DCA, knowing the fact that we are showing signs of reversal already. Bitcoin, excuse me, Bitcoin, it is golden crossing. We are still levitating. This is not really a level, right? You could see that if you look closer, the next level up is somewhere around like 17,000, sorry. And with respect to the weekly front, it is looking to cross down before we cross up. We do have this like quadruple heads 1, 2, 3, 4, but it should like indicate some short-term pump before we see some normalization again, like weeks out, right? And then on the monthly, it is looking quite consolidated, so it's not terrible. We've been kind of gliding around the same level for quite some time. And if you look at the index front, this will also tell us another story. We end up on a relatively flat note. Makes sense, but it seems like we are forming slowly this reverse head and shoulder. So this is the head, this is the shoulder. We might form another shoulder. So what that means is like we will ideally normalize first, right? Because we're quite extended on a weekly and on a daily too. You could see we're quite extended both. So we need to kind of come down a little bit and then go up from here. So I think around the corner of the CPI report, the FOMC meeting, we should indicate some sort of a positivity, which it makes sense because it typically is a green couple weeks for the Santa Claus rally where fund managers like to window dress their portfolio, but it should indicate some sort of bullish momentum. But we do need to kind of normalize and correct because you don't just leap up in one shot, right? So be prepared for those. Would not be a surprise. But everything looks like it's trending accordingly. I do see some signs of revival and resuscitations of the overall market. The COVID seems like it's coming back again. I mean, obviously we saw that relatively speaking, on the closing day of Friday, we saw like a lot of U.S. stocks like pumping up, but Chinese stocks definitely got killed because of the COVID situation. Seems like it's coming back again. Well, so that's pretty much it on the overall market. I mean, it's like we're gliding away. Seems like the FTX news is still in our phase, but it's kind of simmering down, a little bit more now. Definitely not as like severe as we saw before. But if we see more black swan news around those type of magnitude, that's another story, right? but let's hope we don't get that type of treatment again. But I appreciate you. Have a good rest of the day, and I will check you on the next one. Ideally Sunday. And yeah, I really appreciate you. And I forget, happy Thanksgiving again. Appreciate you for just being so generous with your time and your energy on supporting me. I Yeah, it means a lot. And yeah, have a great one. Take care.